Okay, now what the fuck are you? Oh, it's a Manta Lab. Hello everyone and welcome to Telecreations. In this video I'm going to be breaking down, to some degree, what is a Manta Lab. In this case, simply put, it's a premium label that releases premium edition Blu-rays and steel cases. I only have one, so I'm sorry to those who want a display of multitudes. You can always look up other videos on YouTube that show off the various different ones that you can get. This one I keep in its plastic because, unfortunately, outside of getting it from a secondary market, it is a lenticular. Lenticulars scratch real easy. So, yeah, but this is my Once Upon a Time in Hollywood Manta Lab, and I will be discussing what it entails. This is part of an ongoing series where I discuss premium label brands and SteelBook brands and all that jazz, and explain what they are for the more casual goer as to, is this what I want to invest my money into? So firstly, this one does come with an actual slip, which does detail the film. Manta Labs are all Chinese. Yes, they're all Chinese. If you're wanting to buy them to get the actual copy of the film, I wouldn't personally suggest it, but you can if you want to. They are all Region A, but these are just standard edition versions of the film, so this isn't the 4K UHD version of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I personally suggest over getting a standard release. Unless you don't have a 4K UHD TV, then it's your own thing. This is actually Manta number 27, and this is what it looks like. So, of course, those are light rays because I've got light above me. But this is the lenticular. So, they usually come in sets of 2 to 3. And they do often sell out very quick because the resale market is incredible. A set like this comes with details on the base, which does indicate the number 507. I'm not really the kind of person who doesn't show off the number. I don't know why some people do. Like, some people want to hide it from the world, which is a bizarre thing, but that's alright. It's what they do. Obviously, this and details what you can actually get in the set. Hopefully, it's actually showing it in the clip. Let me actually get a closer look at that. Yeah, so as you can see here, it does actually detail its audio and subtitles and all that jazz, the runtime, the bonus features, and of course your little label of limited to 800 units. So you get a cool jazzy cover, nice colors to it, some good embossing and debossing, all that jazz. I can never remember what they actually are, embossing, debossing. Good gloss to it as well. I apologize for the focus of the video. It's not really focusing on it, is it? No, it isn't. My camera's been a bitch today and won't actually focus on the side of it, so just note it does have bumpy edges on the outside, if that's worth entailing. And it does have a back cover. In this case, it is just a standard cover without any extra details. Of course, you've got your gloss, but you don't have any, like, embossing, debossing, all that jazz. So let's look at the actual contents. So, given that this is the only Manta Lab that I actually have, I cannot in detail most of what they actually showcase, which is, disappointing on my end, and I apologize for that. For the most part, you get usually an exclusive SteelBook. I think they're usually noted as WEA, so World Exclusive Artwork, so because otherwise it's WWA, which is Worldwide Artwork, so I believe that this is exclusive artwork. It has some embossing and some nice gloss as well, which you can't always get unless you get the lighting right on it, which, yeah, you can get on his sunglasses, on his chain, and her sunglasses, see? So you've got some good quality SteelBook there, nice artwork overall, looks fantastic. Feels fantastic too. It's not too heavy or anything. It's glossy, so if you're particular about getting fingerprints on it, luckily it's a white cover in this case, so that's not exactly going to be, at least for me, an issue as of right now. You do get always a exclusive little tag. This is a lenticular tag that, of course, is Manta Lab exclusive. You get those with every single release that they have. I suggest keeping them. Same as this is a sticker that comes on the actual plastic on the outside, and that doesn't, again, the focus isn't working on my camera today, I apologize. Okay, see, now it's focusing. Sorry, I had to turn it off and on again. So that's the little sticker you get. Unlike most people, cut it off. It's just easier. That's if you are the type of person to actually open this up. Some people don't. Look, to each their own. You do what you do. You know. It does come with artwork on the inside, and of course the disc, which does actually have, if you're facetious or racist, Chinese characters on it. I personally don't care. I think it looks cooler. And to break it down a bit further, they do come with little envelopes, which have a beautiful texture on it. It is just, this is some good quality shit. Pardon my French. But this is one of my favorite sets, and I thank God that of all of the Manta Labs that I got this one, because it is just exceptional. This is how you can tell it is a premium quality kind of stuff. So to show off initially, it does come with character cards. These do actually showcase the title of the film. In this case, it looks like a bloody Polaroid signature and all. It is just exceptional. It's not really focusing too well. But for example, you have various quantities. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different character cards, which is great. If I want to play bingo, I'm probably going to lose, but that's alright. I don't play bingo, so I don't really know how many... Do you use cards in bingo? Fuck. Maybe I should have used a gambling game. You can gamble in bingo. Anyway, this also comes with additional little posters, which of course are always great. You've got the same background for each one, which I always love that. This is just posters from the film, which is always great. It just adds a bit more charm to it and personality to the set. Like, this is a set that if you are a fan of this product, like of this film, you want to get it. It's just as simple as that. Like, I think most of these brands get this right, where they know just what is perfect for the set. Like, whether it's the art design that they have on the front. In this case, I chose this particular lenticular one because I fucking love that particular shot. Even though it's only from the trailer of DiCaprio as Rick Dalton dancing. I think it looks exceptional. I think it just is exceptional. It's a wonderful film, and I love it. I love watching this stuff. Last but not least, it does come with a booklet. This booklet is very... Oh, it's upside down. It's very funky, with some nice artwork to it. There's not much to it. This is also where some of these brands can differ a little bit differently. This one in particular, Manta Lab, much like HD Zeta, will just refrain from any bloody text at all. Sometimes it depends on the set that you get, but for the most part it is just images. It's just images from the film, which can be nice. It's I don't mind it. It's still high quality stuff, like in terms of its actual production, which is nice. To some degree, it is kind of worthless unless you just really like looking for a book of pictures, but then I guess that's what photo albums are. So it's a part of human nature to enjoy that. So I won't dishevel that. I was like, look, it's cool, it's nice. Some brands do actual things where they put in text. I only have one variation of that, and it's a film arena, and it literally just gives you background of all of the actors, and that's really cool, but it's only in one edition. The other edition of it, because I have 2 different film arena editions for Alien, one of the books has writing, the other one just has pictures. So sometimes it can be about the edition you have. Like, there could be a second edition of this, which there is a regular slipcover edition that actually has, you know, bloody words in it, I guess, if you care about that kind of stuff. I mean, you'd probably be thinking more that would have, like, essays and stuff, but yeah, it is what it is. I don't think there's much else to mention for Manta Labs. From what I've seen, you don't really get much else unless you get... I'm trying to remember completely, so I'm going to have an image here. This is the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood set, given that this is what we're talking about. There is a very big box, which has its own exclusive artwork and its own exclusive number. Those editions usually come with limited to 500 of each edition of all 3 versions of the Manta Lab. I believe there are only 3 editions. Usually there are, for these kind of high-quality premium brands, they have 3 different editions. Usually a slipcover and a lenticular cover. Sometimes there's a single lenticular cover, and then they have a dual lenticular cover. I think this one has a, you know, full slipcover, a half and half, which is like what I have right now, and a completely lenticular cover. And it is what it is. A lot of them have really great artwork. Sometimes they might not. It depends on the film. It depends on what your preferences are in terms of art taste. So you always have the variety to choose. I think they sell these SteelBooks separately. They usually do, just in case you just want the SteelBook, because some people just want the SteelBook. But I don't think it comes with anything in particular outside of a maybe unnumbered nature, or maybe it is numbered if it's in the like Manta Lab. I think they're called Maniac boxes. I don't know if that might be Film Arena or HD Zeta, but that's usually a really big box. They usually title, I think that's a HD Zeta thing, but they usually title it like, no, actually that could be Film Arena. In my mind, you title it Maniac because you're a maniac who buys the whole thing. But that's what some people do. Some people will buy the whole entire set. Sometimes they will sell off all their ones individually to make even more money back. That's what the resale markets are like. So if you want to get this stuff on resale, it can be very expensive. If you want to get it cheap, you pretty much have to get it at launch, and even then, it's going to sell out fast. The most recent one I can remember, I don't even know if it was Manta Lab, but it was Dunkirk. That was maybe a Film Arena. That one went like there was no tomorrow. It was gone, like in seconds. So that can be a bit of a concern for a lot of buyers, which is why I kind of really limit myself to the amount of sets I get. Like the most I've spent is 330 Australian dollars on the Blade Runner 2049 Film Arena, which hasn't even arrived yet. I bought that maybe a month ago. I'm waiting for it to come from like the Czech Republic, because that's where that was made. So there are sets like that where it can be like that. This one cost me about almost $200. I think it was 180 Australian dollars. And of course, it is gorgeous. I would love to get a protector for it as well, which is its own thing. If you want to check that out, I do have a video talking about SteelBook protectors and SteelBook stands as well if you want to display them. It's a whole thing. But there is a culture all to its own. And Manta Lab, despite the booklet being, in my mind, the most worthless thing about it, it is still cool to see these pictures, because some of them are behind-the-scenes pictures. Some of them are stuff like this, which can be cool in principle, but then when you realize it's a stapled book that's really, really tight, it can also be really shit. So, to each their own. Personally, I do like Manta Lab a lot. I don't buy them to watch the film, I buy them to have something cool to look at. Because realistically, that's what it is. It's something cool to look at. So, yeah, that's my review of Manta Lab. Of course, if I had more, I'd show you some different varieties, but for the most part, that's what you can get. But for the most part, Manta Lab's pretty cool. It's slimmer than most of the sets like Film Arena or HD Zeta. In fact, I think it's the slimmest because it comes with the slimmest book, but it can also depend on the actual, set itself. So, yeah. Look, you do what you do. If you have a lot of money and would love to spend a lot of money, this is the way to go. So, yeah, it's ultimately just down to what you think of the artwork and what you think of the SteelBook and the art cards and all that jazz. If you like all of it, then 100% go for it, even if it's really expensive, because sometimes it can be worth it just to have that on your shelf and be like, look, fuck, it cost me a lot, to the point that in a few months you might forget how much it cost you, but you might be like, but it was worth it. So, yeah. In the end, thank you so much for watching. This is the third of my what is premium SteelBook selection, starting with Titans of Cult, which isn't actually a premium label, but it's still a SteelBook label, and followed up with Everything Blue. I plan to be doing Film Arena next, and HDZ to some degree as well. So thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Adios.